Hey everybody, what's going on? Back with another video. Hope everyone's staying nice and cool today. It's super hot, at least in southern Ontario where I am. So we got another video here. This is from Mark Nixon, who posted this on X. And he says, Melanie Joly is completely off script now. Claimed the opposition would have capitulated, justifying Mark Carney kneeling to Trump. This is what panic looks like. They've lost control of the message, and the country knows it. Well, some of us know it. Let's get into this now. Before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, it really does help grow the channel, and I appreciate you. Every single one of you does that. Really helps, and I appreciate you. So let's get into this, and then we'll talk about it after, like usual.
Your opposition contends right now that the opposite is true, that essentially by putting off, for example, levying counter tariffs, by the prime minister's display thanking the president or complimenting him on his world leadership publicly at the G7, that is in fact elbows down, counter to the elbows up message you campaigned on. How do you reconcile those things?
What is fascinating by the, when you look at the last parliamentary session, we've just finished on Friday, is that there was nearly no question by the opposition regarding our relationship with the U.S. The vast majority of the questions were not linked to it. Actually, when thinking of looking at how we can support the auto sector, they were not even referring to the trade war, much more on EV mandates, which we're working on.
Like, what's the point? Elbows up, you got to deal with Trump. And you've glazed over him every time you saw him. Mark Carney's hung out with him twice now. Happy birthday, Mr. President. What a great leader you are. Good Lord, I'm surprised Mark Carney wasn't sitting on his lap. And now she's saying, well, the opposition didn't ask us any questions. Well, there's been no progress. What do you want? Do you want them to keep exposing you for your diplomacy that you're apparently so good at? Like, what do you want them to ask about? There's been no progress. You campaigned on elbows up, and you put your elbows down. There's no question. We all know it.
So what is fascinating by the opposition is when thinking of what they could have done themselves is I think they would have capitulated. I think that they would clearly have cozied up to the White House.
But that's what your government is doing right now. The Prime Minister is literally thanking the President for his world leadership at a time when the President has abandoned the U.S.'s position as a world leader.
No, I think that
that's not elbows up.
I think that the Prime Minister was in charge of the G7. His job was to welcome the President. He was in a very difficult position. We all know that. All G7 leaders knew that. They were actually thanking Prime Minister Carney for doing the tough job that, not a lot of them wanted necessarily at this time, but it was our year. Canada is in charge of the G7, and therefore Prime Minister Carney was doing the diplomatic work that was required from Canada. Meanwhile, I think in the context of the G7, we're able to get to important good results. What I've seen, meanwhile, while the Prime Minister was in Kananaskis, I was in Paris at the Paris Air Show, where I saw that more than ever, countries want to do business with Canada.
I will leave it on that note. I'm out of time. I appreciate your...
Look at Vassy's face. She's like, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Won't embarrass you any further. I mean, my God. The opposition would have cozied up to Trump? No, that's what you're doing. Again, it's projection by confession. Confession by projection. Oh, the conservatives this, the conservative... It's what you're doing right now. She said there's been progress. Where? There's no deal? What progress? When there's progress, when there's a deal on the table that's good for Canada, you let me know. But I don't see that yet. Do you? Because I don't. It's so weird how they just keep deflecting the questions. They campaign on elbows up. They win. They immediately put their elbows down and like, well, the conservatives. What? They always do this. They use the conservatives as some boogeyman as if they've been in power. You guys are in charge. You campaigned on elbows up. You're supposed to be tough on Trump. Carney said during his campaign, the relationship as we know it with the United States is over. If he campaigned on what he's actually doing, do you think he would have won the election? Probably not. Maybe. but it's definitely much closer. I mean, it already was kind of close if you look at the numbers and how many votes Pierre Poilievre was from flipping many ridings, but either way, it doesn't matter. Close doesn't win. But if they campaigned soft on Trump, all those liberal boomers, they would have flocked from the party. Like, are you kidding? Like, it's the reason they campaigned on it because they campaigned on fear. And they painted Trump as the boogeyman, and now every time Carney sees Trump, it's, oh, hello, sir. Hello, pal. Hello, buddy. Get the deal done. Well, we're going to be tough on this guy. That's not tough. You're being friendly with him. Why do you think Trump said he wanted to deal with a liberal? Because he knew this was going to happen. You think he wanted to deal with a guy who is, one, not Mr. Burns, and second of all, has been the leader of the official opposition. He's used to going after people. Trump doesn't want that. He wants a soft little old man who does nothing but give him compliments. That's what he wants, and that's what he got. And Canadians gave it to him. All those people who hate Trump so much literally gave the guy what he wants. It's hilarious, and they still don't even see it. But, well, I mean, you voted for fear, and you got nothing. More of the same. No budget. A lot of the same cabinet members. And yet somehow Carney keeps improving in the polls. Interesting, huh? Don't know how that works, but then again, it's a lot of liberal boomers. Not all boomers. I want to make that clear. But liberal boomers, liberal Gen Xers, they're the ones who gave Trump what he wanted. They gave Canada a fourth liberal term. Why? Because they think Carney is so much different than Trudeau. And they're right. They just don't know how they're right. He is different because he's worse. He's not better. He's worse. And you gave Trump what you want. You hated Trump so much, you gave him exactly what you want. He played us so good. And the people who voted for Carney, or at least okay with Carney right now, won't admit it. They won't accept it. But they will eventually. They'll have no choice. You know, just when they told us that, you know, the masks worked and all that, eventually they're going to have no choice to be either honest and admit that they were wrong, or just get silent on the issue. And they only have so much time before that happens. It won't take that long. But let me know what you guys think. Please let me know your feelings, your thoughts, any questions you have in the comments. I really enjoy engaging with you guys. And again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help grow the channel. Thanks so much, and I'll be back shortly with a new one.